so in today's video I'm going to be talking about how I failed Forex trading for 3 years straight. Started off in 2017 and took 3 years when I was consistently failing, losing, having negative cycles, negative times. And I'm sure a lot of you will be able to relate. Maybe you're on the same journey, maybe you're struggling, you don't feel there's much hope anymore and you feel like giving up and you're lost, you don't know what to do. So this video is going to be for you because I'm going to be talking you through exactly my story of how I was losing and then how I managed to turn it around. And hopefully it can be some kind of motivation. You know, we're all progressing, we're all trying to get there. And yeah, I'm going to go through what happened with me. If you guys get value from this video, make sure you like, comment and subscribe. I'd appreciate that. And we've got a free Discord group down below. A lot of people have been asking me about community. So we've got a free community that everyone can just talk and help you progress in your journey as best you can. So yeah, make sure you check that out. And my Instagram's down below if you want to check that out as well. And yeah, let's just get into the video. So my story, 2017 to 2020 was... So I started in 2017 after I left school. And it was a difficult period because obviously there's a lot of uncertainty with what I was doing. A lot of my friends were going off to uni, going off to get apprenticeships, doing jobs, and people at school were like, what are you doing, James? And I'm like, well, I'm learning trading. And they're like, oh, you're gambling. And a lot of negative stigma around what I was doing. So that was obviously quite difficult because you're the outlier. You're the person that's not on the path that everyone's going down, which gave me confidence in the fact that I'm doing something different because I want a different outcome. I want to be financially successful. I want to achieve and be ambitious and be successful. So I wanted to do something different, but obviously it's uncertain. You're trading. I didn't know what I was doing at the time. So I started with a £500 account when I turned 18 and I just couldn't reach consistency. I was struggling. You'd have good months like down here. You can see £18 or $18, $11, $35 profit. So you'd have, and again, that was on a £500 account. I was risking 1%. So obviously you'd have good months where you thought, I know what I'm doing. I've got this. It's not too bad. I'm learning and progressing. To then only a couple of months later lose it all or lose more or, be messed up psychologically because you've had a couple of losses and you can't execute your trading plan. So I had a strategy at the time and I was in a community at the time. And I thought as soon as I got into this community, that's it. I pay them the money. They'll give me the strategy. I'll execute the strategy. It'll be easy. I've got the knowledge now and I'll just start making money. I couldn't be more wrong. I could not be more wrong. And I'm sure a lot of you won't understand this because I didn't understand this. It's not just about strategy because I got a strategy. And the way I learned this was because at the end of the month, we would sit there and the mentor would sit there and go, what's everyone sat at for the end of the month? And I'd be down 3%. And I thought, oh, maybe it's just a bad month. I'm down 3%. So everyone in the community must be down 3%. We're all trading the same strategy. We all know the same stuff. And it turned out some people were up 10%, some people were up 8%, some people were down 6%, I was down 3%, and I'm sat there thinking, how does that work then? We all know the same information, we're all trading the same currency pairs, why is there a vast array of results? And that's where I learned psychology. A lot of it's, not executing your trades, not being psychologically on point, missing positions due to fear, executing trades, over-risking because of greed, and realising strategy is such a small part. So I kept going with that strategy, I kept trying to improve, but then you would look on Instagram, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this. You look on Instagram, maybe it was a slow trading day, or maybe I took a couple of losses and I was questioning, does this strategy actually work? Are they scamming me? A lot of negative self-talk, because obviously the people around me sometimes, friends, they would sit there and go, oh, what are you doing? You're gambling, or you're trading, or what are you doing this trading thing? You're like not taking it seriously. So that would sometimes, although I was very confident and very confident in my decision of learning to trade, sometimes when the results aren't good and then you're having that negativity around you, it can play on your mind. It can get a lot. So I'd look on Instagram and I'd see a trader let's take a trade, and I knew enough knowledge at this point to briefly understand what they were doing. I thought, well, I'm going to trade that style. So let's say, for example, I took 3 losses in a row. I'm down on my account, and now they take a trade, they win. So then I swap to their strategy, and then I'm waiting for trades looking at their strategy, which means I'm not taking trades which are part of my strategy. So the trades that I should be taking to get these losses back with big risk reward and clean setups, I'm not taking. So then I take one trade on their strategy, lose, so I'm now down even more. And then go back to my original strategy and I just looked and missed out on all these trades. So I just kept strategy swapping, and that's what I see a lot of people doing, looking for the next holy grail, the next best strategy. And it doesn't work like that. There's no best strategy. There's no number one strategy. There's lots of profitable edges in the market, lots of systems that produce, and that you've got data to suggest that they've got an edge in the market long term. But there's no one strategy that's hidden from everyone that's going to make you loads of money. It's understanding edge, understanding the probability, understanding risk reward, understanding having a clear plan, entry, exit, management plan, limiting your emotions as much as possible, and just working to execute that trading style. So that was the struggles, and I'm sure a lot of you will feel the same way. You're in a position where you're just not making money. You're thinking, does this work? You feel like giving up maybe. Maybe you feel like, okay, I can't sustain this for much longer. I'm going to give up. So I'm going to talk about exactly what I did from this point. I'm sure, like I said, sure a lot you can relate to not being consistent, maybe not having a clear strategy, having negative self-talk, having a bad environment, friends, family might not understand what you're doing, so you feel pressure from that. So this is what I would do, and this is what I did to help me. I tried to be as optimistic as possible by looking at what other people had and thought, so for example, this picture, I don't know now if this was legit. I just found this on my laptop that I screenshotted at the time, £177,000. And I remember thinking, okay, I don't know if this is legit now, but at the time I thought, wow, like if that is, I could fail for the next 10, 15 years. And as soon as I have that 1 year where I've mastered it, I learn it, it all comes around, all the hard work pays off. That could be more money in a day or a month or a year that most people will ever have, all these years of working. So that gave me confidence because I thought I could fail for the next 10 years. Obviously, it's not going to be ideal. I don't want that to happen. But I looked at it that long term where I was like, even if I continue to fail, if I just get this to work, if I just manage to succeed, I can outdo and catch up and surpass everyone that's doing a normal job or who's gone to uni. So that gave me confidence. I think these people have what I have. This was another person in the community I was in. And he, I'm not sure if you can see, but 14.5%, 1.8%, 10.2, 7.9, 7.7. So this made it real. 11 trades took. This made it real, the fact that, look, he's averaging 9% per month. So I wasn't at that level. I wasn't making that. But that gave me confidence. If he's doing it, yes, he's better than me. He knows what he's doing more than me. But if I can just get to that level, then I'm laughing. I'm doing all right. If I can just get these results. So instead of being down and negative and thinking, does this work or I'm struggling, you have to use it as motivation to look at the people that have what you have and think if they've got it, why? There's no reason why you can't. We've all got access to the internet. We've all got. Some people have more of an opportunity than others, but we can all put in as much work as we can to learn the knowledge, to gain experience, to learn from our mistakes, to get to a position like that. So that kept me motivated. Like I said, unlimited upside for my future. Like I said, if I continue to fail, I mentioned this, if I continue to fail, 1 month could be a yearly salary. So I could fail for 5-10 years and then suddenly have a big, suddenly that next year, everything comes around and you have a fantastic year. You've learned what you're doing, you mastered the skill set, you master your psychology, and you start making really good money and you make up for all the years that you lost. On reflection, because of the negative self-talk, because I was bit down, like, oh, I'm struggling with this, does this work? I was probably giving it 70%, not 100%. And that's what a lot of you might realise. You might think, oh, well, it's not going to work anyway, so I'm not going to do this extra stuff, put in the extra time doing this. So I thought I need to go back to 100%. If I'm going to get this to work, I need to give myself everything. So I limited the going out, having drinks, meeting with friends. I'd meet with friends occasionally, but I wouldn't be going out being hungover, getting drunk, going out. I would get myself back into the gym, build discipline, and start giving it 100%. Because then if I do fail at that point, which I don't believe I will, but if I did, then I've given it my all. Like, no one can say you've not properly tried. Obviously, I tried and I put a lot of effort in for the start. But when you start having negative months and slowing down, you start thinking to yourself, okay. Sometimes you think, you don't do the things you should. You're not as motivated. So I thought, I'm going to go back up to 100%. I'm going to put everything in. I'm going to get up at a certain time. I'm going to put the effort in. And this is what you guys need to do. Use it as motivation. Use that energy as motivation to be like, okay, I'm doing this. I'm putting 100% into it. That way, I'm not lied to myself. I've done everything I possibly could. I stuck with one strategy, so that instead of keep strategy swapping and looking at the next best thing, or I've had 6 losses in a row or 4 losses in a row with this strategy, it doesn't work. No, that's part of probability. Were the trades good? Some were, some weren't. Learn from the trades that weren't good. Stop looking at other people that are just promoting things on Instagram to make themselves look like they're doing really well. Focus on the community that I'm in. So I stuck with that one strategy no matter what, so I could have a large amount of trades, a large amount of sample size, so the edge could play out. And then I distanced myself from the negative people because that wasn't helping. It's not helping if you're struggling, then you're around people that aren't supporting you. I got around people that were supporting me, that were saying, James, you can do this, I believe in you. Obviously, they would listen to what I would say. They wouldn't half listen. They would listen, and they'd, you know, when you're talking to someone and you're saying what you want to do, and it goes in one ear and out the other. I was around people that generally were asking good questions back, were around wanting me to do well, like I want them to do well. So that's what I did. And then I started to improve. So 3 years of losing, and not necessarily losing lots of money, but just you were up and down. You had a consistent month, you had a positive month, negative month. I think some months I didn't lose loads of money. I was down, like I could get to the end of the year and be down like 2%. So I'm down £10. But all that work for free and all that work for no money. And you think, you know, how am I ever going to get out of this? So this is what I want you guys to remember. You can have 3 years of losing or 2 years of losing, but all that hard work can suddenly come back round. And all that hard work you put in, you might not start seeing the results short term, but long term, things start coming into place. You start getting momentum. Things start becoming easier because you start getting the consistent results. You think, oh, I can do this now. Oh, I've just had another 4% month. Oh, I was down 3% and I'd managed to turn the month around to 6%. I can do this. You start gaining the experience, you're gaining the confidence. The positive momentum, self-belief starts coming back. And things can change quick from bad to good. Yes, they can change from good to bad, so you have to stay at peak performance, but you're not going to stay in this cycle forever. If you keep working hard and you keep pushing yourself, you're not going to stay in this situation forever. Keep learning from people that have what you want. Keep positive. I know it's difficult. As I just said, you have periods where you're losing and you're struggling, but you can get out of this. And I'm still progressing now. You know, I'm nowhere near where I'm not nowhere near. I'm still progressing to my goals. I'm close, but I'm further ahead than most people, a lot of people, but then I'm probably behind where some people are. So we're all on our own path, we're all on our own journey. I'm not comparing myself to others. You shouldn't. You should learn from people that have experience, so I can give some good advice, things I did right, things I did wrong, but I'm still learning from people too. No one has mastered this game. There's always things you can learn. So you're always a student of the game, and that's what you got to think of it like. So start slowly, you'll start improving, you'll start getting there, but you have to have a winning mindset and you have to be positive and not, and I know it's hard, I know it's difficult, but you've just got to keep pushing. And that's the process I would go down, and that's what happened with me. I think the single biggest motivator was the fact that I looked at what other people had and I thought, there's no option. I've got to make this work, and I will make this work no matter how long it takes. I could be 45 and suddenly starts working. I become a consistent trader, and then suddenly I'm making fantastic money from that then on. Obviously, I don't want it to take that long, and it hasn't took that long. But I had that mindset in my head that if it does, I'm prepared to do that because I'm not stopping until I make this work, and that's what you need to have. So I hope you guys like this video and it's helped. I know what it's like to be losing, and you just got to stay positive. Like I said, we've got the free Discord group down below, so if you've got any questions or any trade scenarios or anything you want to ask me, I'll get back to you. We've got quite a few people in there that can also help. Got my Instagram down below if you want to message me directly on that. And yeah, I hope you guys get value from this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.